Hello fellow audience, my name is Vigortade, and today we rank the figures that have made my year, and we'll rank the figures that were this close to making it. This is gonna be one of the videos of all time. This figure, number 10, rides the line between really good and misunderstood to what they say in the motherland, L shit. Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast Wheeljack. This figure is really good once you get rid of the door wings. Personally, the articulation isn't the best, and he isn't perfect, but I love him. I like how this thing doesn't look like a human because, well, they're not supposed to look like humans. They're alien robots. All the car parts, I like kibble on Transformers if it's done right, and not completely on the cast. Darker the Moon Megatron. I don't know, he's a neat little figure. Posability, again, isn't the best, but it's pretty good for a Wheeljack. I decided to give him the Bumblebee head for obvious reasons. I think it fits his body really well. All it needs is a little sticky tack or glue or something to keep it in place. Once and if you get rid of the door wings, this transformation is really good. Everything has a nice little tab. It's not too complicated, but it isn't perfect. It definitely has its flaws. But let's just say this is on this list because it's one of the figures I did get in 2024. Although the van mode is pretty cool. After that figure that, what we call in the business, melt and letdown. God damn it! After that figure that in the business we call a Latin meltdown, what figure made my number 9 spot? Well, personally, I think that this figure is a lot better than Wheeljack. Studio Series, Bumblebee movie concept art, Sunstreaker.
Actually, that isn't Transformers Studio Series Sunstreaker, you fucking idiot.
Hear me out. I like this figure. I like this figure when it wasn't even Goldbug, but I didn't really like how... Absolutely disgusting creature right here, boys. And that's saying something, because this was a Sunstreaker mold, so what exact message did this have? Otherwise, I think this figure had really good intentions. Other than the nasty shoulder pads that I think should have been upgraded. Honestly, this transformation was really fun, and the way the feet connect together has to be my favorite part. Everything slots into a nice hole or slit, and it really makes the experience fun. And it rolls like a dream. The number 8 spot is really the turning point where we get to figures that have really bad flaws that hold them back from being great, to figures that are just really good. Like, really good. I guess you could say that 8 is really great. You better start laughing. And that's why the number 8 spot's going to Transformers Legacy Evolution United Evolution Crosscut. And yes, before you ask, I do use my Transformers to sniff cocaine. How else do you think I was so hopped up on this video? Everything in this transformation is perfect. Every slot has a tab, and it really shows that less is more when it comes to transformation. Although, the tabs on the windshield are made of clear plastic and don't hold on very well. Otherwise, everything is perfect. Number 7. 7 being how many Vietnamese children I have in my basement. But 7 should go to a figure that really outstood the figure class it really should be in. Really showing articulation, transformation, and being an overall really good figure. And that's why I think that number 7 should go to Transformers Legacy United Animated Bumblebee. Why do their names have to be so long? For some godforsaken reason, I decided to move the formula backwards, so you get to see the car mode premature. Wow, this really ruins it. I really like the car mode. It's very nice, but it's premature. The transformation is very fun. I like how everything flips and slides and goes into a nice place. And the result is a very fun little mini-bot. Not my favorite version of Bumblebee, though. I'm doing articulation now. it's cool. It's a little Kia Soul. For some reason, I forgot to tab the back bumper in, but who cares at this point? Number 6. The final figure that is the turning point from good to great. And honestly, this figure really outstood everything I thought about it. Because, frankly, I thought this line sucked. And it probably does after like 3 figures. 2 of them being really good and 2 of them being really bad. And the rest looking really ugly. It's probably just because I don't really like those designs. But, frankly, I think the number 6 spot should go to Transformers Gamer Edition, Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what peak looks like. Honestly, I kind of hated how this figure looked. I don't really like the bunny ears, but God, this thing looks so good in a pose. The fact that the axe splits apart and becomes a bigger axe or smaller axe depending on what you want really helps this figure. I don't even care that it's not that orange. And this is Chadamus Prime. I've never played the War for Cybertron games, but I have to imagine that they're somewhat fun if this is the guy you're playing as. He's like if Kratos was Optimus Prime's gym coach? Yeah, back to the gym, I guess. I don't really like how he has the Optimus Primal arms, but the Matrix of Leadership makes up for it, even though he can't hold it. The posability on this figure is stunning. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. This transformation takes a lot less time than it did in the video. I don't know what I was doing even. I've had this thing for like 3 months now, and I still can't transform it. Not like the transformation is hard or anything, I guess I'm just stupid. Everything has a nice little tab to make sure that the alt mode is nice and solid. We're gonna be here a while, so I might as well ask you guys. I hope you enjoy the video and like and subscribe. I love how this thing feels like a mouse. It also feels like a battering ram. Good chunky boy. This thing just excretes raw rage. So, number 5. This figure is really great and really divided against the community. Personally, I really like it. Some really hate this thing. And personally, I don't understand why. It's such a good fembot mold, and personally, for the remold that really got hated on, what did you expect? It was like the only one coming out this year. So therefore, my number 5 spot is going to Transformers Legacy United Windblade. Do not sleep on this thing. I love almost everything about this figure. I love the sword, I love the reds, I love the nice blues, I like the wings, I even like the fact that the backpack can come off. I'm not really the biggest fan of the face, but remember, Windblade is a city speaker, not a sex doll. This thing is just so impressive to me. Since this thing is not in the incest cesspool we call Seeker molds, this thing actually has a unique transformation. I like how everything snaps together and stuff, but it's not really that impressive. It is a little bit fiddly, but what Transformer isn't? The jet mode is nice, or VTOL mode. I forgot to flip the propeller things up, or something like that. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Number 4 is just character bias. It's Tarn. He's a really good figure. Like, there's no exaggerating here. He's like one of my favorites. Unfortunately, the reason why I couldn't put him in number 3, or even 2, is because I broke him. So therefore, he's no longer perfect. I don't care how many baddies I fumble. This has to be the worst fumble of all time, boys. Jesus Christ, I love this thing, but the clip just snapped off and I had to glue it back on. This really does affect the transformation for me a little bit. The articulation on this figure is amazing. I love every joint and it just feels amazing. It just feels amazing. The cannon can come off and it even looks better. It looks better without it. There's just something so evil with it. It feels wrong in the best way possible. And I love how articulated he is and how thin he is. He's the most action figure Transformer I have. The transformation is Alright, I guess. It's not really anything special, only really meant for you to get to the next mode. It's not like it's devoid of fun, it's just not really anything memorable. Although now that that wrist thing is broken, it kind of affects the transformation and how you get the shoulder tread into the arm, and it's just painful to watch. The transformation is relatively easy unless you have the same problem that I do. The tank cow catcher really helps draw the thing together, and this thing is pretty badass. Although it can't roll, which is sucky. Number 3 was originally going to be replaced with number 4, Tarn, but since this figure has no flaws in my opinion, this figure's honestly perfect in some weird way, because there's not much articulation on this figure. He's really simple, and therefore for my number 3 spot, I'm going with Transformers Core Class Legacy Evolution Optimus Prime. Such a small, iconic little design. I love this thing. He's the perfect desk figure, and he's relatively cheap. Not this version though, he's like $70 for 2 core class figures in a shitty trailer. What can I say about a nice, cute Optimus Prime? Literally nothing. This figure is perfect. And the transformation's perfect too. Nice and simple. Literally, you don't have to change anything for this formula to work. He's just adorable. Next figure. Alright, this is gonna sound like a stretch, but you're gonna have to hear me out on this one. I literally got this figure a week before recording this video, and it might be recency biased, and it might be just because the movie's really good, but this figure is amazing in my opinion. It's one of my favorites, it's really good, and it's one of my favorite versions of the character now, especially in this year. Although Christmas hasn't come, and if I did get what I wanted, I don't know how this is going to stack up against it. I'll probably do an update video kind of talking about the figures, but this figure is amazing in my opinion, and he's personally one of my favorite desk formers, and that means a lot to me, because I have not had a desk former in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, my hat goes off to Transformers Prime Changers Orion Pax. I cannot exaggerate to you how much better this thing is than the Studio Series version. I don't care that it doesn't have ankle joints. I don't care that it doesn't have wrist joints. Hell, I don't care that this thing has weird elbows. Weird elbows or shoulder joints. This thing is so much better than that thing. Because it actually holds together. It actually feels like something I can play with in my hands. The axe accessory is really cool too. I like the little fingerprinting, but almost everyone has said that. Although, if ankle joints weren't an option, I would really like some heels. That's the only thing holding this thing back for me. Although, this thing has to be one of my favorite Transformers 1 figures, and although I only have 2, it counts. The transformation's also really fun. I like how everything has a nice little, it feels good. It's hard to describe things I like, because I'm very stupid. But it just feels nice. And at the end, it rolls like a dream. This is my favorite desk former. The axe storage is also really good. It really just makes this thing look brick. So surprising nobody, the best Transformer of 2024, no objective opinion, the best figure is Transformers Studio Series 6 Wheelie. This is possibly one of the best figures of all time. It's so poseable, a totally likable character, and everyone's favorite. This is the best Transformer of 2023. This thing is perfect in every way, shape, or form. Hell, the alt mode and the transformation are even perfect. I love everything about this figure. It's just, I don't know, something about it just screams like, it's so good, it doesn't feel like Hasbro made it. Weirdest thing is that they did. This thing screams power and it demands attention from your shelf. Shout out to Javi for picking this up for me for my birthday.